and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you like videos like this.
There's a place called Amurumuru, which is this T-shaped doorway cut on the hillside of sandstone on the edge of Lake Titicaca. And the last time I was there with the group, only a few days before, someone had literally been sucked into the portal, disappeared, and they had to find a police report because the guy was missing at the hotel, and they had to account for why one of the people in the group was missing. And my guide there, he's very aware of what goes on in that portal, and even he doesn't go there anywhere near this place after the sun starts going down, and even I'm picking up on it as I'm there with him. And I said, no, let's come back in the morning. I feel like I'm being sucked into this thing. So either there's a teaching associated with it, or it's a vibrational element that helps you connect with the other world. And in this case, it's both. It's a place of teaching, and it's also a telluric current that flows through that shape. And under certain conditions, it will suck people in there, and they come back a couple of days later very dazed and confused, as this guy did.
Did you know not everyone on Earth is living in 2025? Starting with Thailand, do you know they're in the year 2568? And I'm going to show you a bunch more. But I want you to also know that AI doesn't want you to talk about this, and I'll show you in a minute. But they removed this over and over as I talked about this. Japan, it's 2685. Iran, it's 1404. India, it's 1947. That's the only one that makes sense, right? China is 4723. Ethiopia is 2018. And guys, if I missed any, let me know, like in the comments. I didn't realize this was so common. Saudi Arabia is 1447. Nepal, it's 2082. And North Korea, it's 114 right now. Bangladesh, 1432. And Myanmar, 1386. Again, why would ChatGPT and AI erase this and not want us to talk about this? We should talk about this.
Okay, there he is in the window again. Went under the bed. After I viewed the video from this encounter, what I saw in the video looked nothing like what I saw in real time. In real time, it looked like another small shadow apparition sitting in the window. I've captured this 2 times before. One of the captures actually looked like a small apparition jumping from the window.
There are literally millions of people living underground right now. My client was one of them at different points in her life.
That's so hard to believe. That's crazy.
I know. But you know, you're talking to someone who, I mean, I've talked to, now she's public.
Okay.
So stuff I'm saying, she already said on my podcast. Mm-hmm. Now, I have a lot of not public. I have 13 years now, over 10,000 hours of one-on-one session work with people that have eyewitness accounts of the most wild realities. And I'll tell you, she's not the only one that's told me about the underground cities, for sure. And in the underground cities, it's dark. It's dark stuff. Because they don't just have like people down there, they have clones, they have hybrids, they have like the stuff of nightmares.
Everyone's hearing a different song.
Apple iPhones are banned globally. This happened after Turkey and Hungary moved to ban iPhones after China, Russia, and Indonesia confirmed unremovable Israeli spyware inside Apple devices made by Foxconn. The scandal is exploding and the bans are spreading, guys. This was posted by Silent Sirs, guys. This is insane. Like, what? People were saying things in the comments like the widening circle of bans exposes the scale of the disaster. Countries are taking decisive action because devices that were supposed to be secure turned into surveillance gateways. The scandal is growing, trust is collapsing, and what's hidden is even worse. People have the right to know who is watching them and why. Grok, can you verify the source of these reports? And you can also confirm the source of the claims? Guys, no, he didn't respond, Grok, but guys, this is legit. But yeah, guys, this is just insane. I really don't even know what to say about this. Like, what do we do about this? Like, this is crazy, guys. Drop your thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know how they know this, but they're telling us that trillions of gallons of water will fall across California next week. I don't know how they know this, y'all, but do y'all see this over here? What is going on here? And then the skies of California are already looking apocalyptic. In a kind of good way, though. Check this out over here. Check this out over here, y'all. Look at this. Y'all ever seen it this vivid? Look at this new color. It looks like there's a new color, like a teal on the outside of this purple. Can y'all see that? You can see it on this side too. Look. It's like a teal. What? Take a look at this one over here, y'all. People were seeing it all over the skies of California. Y'all, it literally looks like another world out there. Look how dark and gray this part of the sky is. And look what's up there. These double rainbows are something new, aren't they, family? Like, this is something that we have never seen before. It looks like something is intersecting. You guys know about that binary star that they be telling us about? It looks like something is intersecting with our sun. It's the Lord of the Rings up there. Saturn is the Lord of the Rings. And again, how do they know about these trillion gallons of water? So California, all I would say is hold on, y'all, man. The shift is here, man. They've been warning people about getting out of California for quite some time now, y'all. But this right here, let me know that in the comments below what you think. The shift is here. Let's get it, y'all. Peace out.
I'm gonna sound like a broken record for some, but I don't think people realize who and what we're dealing with here. And if you don't know what the CIA is, it's a talent agency that manages anyone from LeBron James to Dolly Parton to Matt Rife to Beyonce. The two largest stakeholders of the CIA are Henry Pennell and Salma Hayek. But that's not all they own. They own French football clubs, they own historic French wine estates and multiple vineyards. They have a very extensive art collection. We'll get there. And a portfolio of luxury brands, one of them specifically being Kering, which umbrellas all the brands the elites basically wear: Gucci, Saint Laurent, Balenciaga. The family also owns the French news magazine Le Point. Talk about controlling the narrative. They also own a website called Christie's Auction House, which this is what it looks like when opening their website. Looks very rich, looks very 1%, looks very elite. However, when you go to the search bar and you type in Jake and Dino's Chapman, you begin to find some very disturbing art, some referencing cannibalism, some referencing children with human parts on their face. In fact, some of it is so explicit that it's not available in my region. There are multiple questionable pieces of art on this website that are extremely concerning. Statues of children running through the woods, some with 2 heads, some with 4 heads, again with body parts on their faces. There's a bunch of pictures and references of witchcraft. Let's just say some of this artwork kind of mirrored what Salma Hayek dressed up as for Halloween not that long ago. It's just pretend, right? Right. It's just pretend. We know Salma Hayek and Kim Kardashian are close. Even after the Balenciaga scandal, Kim K still never wavered her loyalty to Salma. In fact, you know that $5 million Basquiat painting that was accidentally leaked by Kris Jenner? It's actually alleged that Christie's Auction House was where she purchased the painting back in 2017. Here is the said painting that Kim purchased for around $5 million. And by the way, this is the same night they had Ariana Grande over for that Wicked premiere sleepover party. And it's just interesting with what they claim Basquiat and his art was capable of and what has happened to Ariana Grande since taking the role of Glinda. It really makes me wonder what is happening to these celebrities.
Believe that we're doing that. It's so great. That joy wanted to infuse in every frame. Last night, when this video was filmed, Ariana showed us that something was wrong, and it's even more terrifying than we thought. For months now, every time Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are filmed together, it gets stranger. No one acts this bizarre around their closest friends. Everyone's wondering the same thing. Why is she so protective of her? Everyone has already seen Ariana's shocking weight loss. She said herself it was better for her health, but who actually believes that? And on top of that, now whenever she appears on camera with Cynthia, it never ends well. Look closely. Each appearance gets weirder and weirder.
Not the time, helicopter! Go, hey. Through this press door, something's bothering her. She's gonna fix something, I know. She's getting the fixing itch that Cynthia Erivo gets.
It's not there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because the thing is...
Niggas pinch me.
We would like to see your best toss.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
It's so good. Thank you very much.
I love it. Well, today I have I'm doing an emotional toss.
That's right.
That's today's toss.
Soulful.
So after seeing all this, someone's going to have to tell me whether Cynthia has become Ariana's bodyguard, or if the two of them are hiding a more secret relationship they're not ready to talk about yet. If you think something even worse is hiding behind all this, don't waste time. Come here fast and drop your opinion in the comments under this video.
As far as a Bigfoot being interdimensional, I'm not sure they all are, but I think that the ones that we dealt with in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California has such an advanced vocal mechanism. I mean, there's times when we thought our camp was being tore apart outside. We look out there and nothing's changed. The barrels were there that we hauled in our mules. All our canned goods were still there that we hauled in. Nothing changed. Well, how do you explain that in classical science? You can't. So there's just things going on. There's lights. We've seen what we thought was a UFO I did up there one time. You hear sounds up there that just don't have an answer to them. And not in classical science anyways. What I think they can do with their very advanced vocal mechanism is I think they can create a frequency that will cause them to go out of our visual perception, and that would cause them to, in our eyes anyway, disappear. Are they going out of our dimension into the fifth dimension, fourth dimension of time? Maybe they're seen as a ghost, like some people see ghosts in the fourth dimension, they're time, because they're trapped in there. Are they going through that in a plasma field? Is that what the cloaking thing, the predator look that they call it? Could it be that they're going into their fifth dimension, where I think that's why you don't find bodies, that's why they're not found by classical science, and academia just can't handle that because it's outside their paradigm. It's outside of their disciplines.
What am I gonna fight? The sun?
NASA's just cut its live stream when a mysterious object floats into frame. Look at the top, you guys tell me what you see, and I'll talk to you in just a moment.
Absolutely, I will not do anything except to work fine. There you go. Thanks for the heads up.
Excellent config, you're very welcome. And just to kind of smooth things over when we do come back to you, you'll be on space to ground 3 for your ops today with Shankini.
Agree with Shankini, thanks.
Look at the state of this object, bruv, right? Giant triangle Dorito looking at our thing, right? Now notice, whatever this is, I have no idea, but I'm only speculating, but it looks triangular in nature, and you can see the stars kind of morphing just behind it as it moves, you know? It's like translucent almost, right? Dorito, very delicious. What do you guys think? Let me know down below.
So it looks like a regular window, right? I'll check it out when you zoom in. What is that? Ain't no way. There's something magical going on over there. Gotta be. What? Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? Come on, tell me you see this.
Okay, you guys, these Epstein files are out of control, so we're gonna break down everything we've seen thus far. Okay, first, let's start with Obama's former chief White House counsel, Kathy Ruemiller, and a very eerie, very suspicious email with her and Epstein. Now, they're communicating back and forth in this email, but at the bottom of this email gets really weird, and I quote, she says, "Yes, I will be like the doctor at Lenox Hill, put that crazy in room 1, gunshot and surgery, and the cook, well, he can wait." You guys, remember Obama's chef who worked at the White House and who died at Obama's house? Could they be talking about him? Now, being that email was from 2014, saying the cook can wait, you mean like 9 years later wait, where he actually died in 2023? Yeah, that's suspicious. Gets even wilder though. So, we have an email from 2018 with Jeffrey Epstein and his brother, Mark Epstein, in which Mark is asking, buckle up, he says, does Putin still have the pictures of Trump blowing Bubba, aka Bill Clinton? Bro, what? Okay, even if this is even remotely true, how relevant would this picture be that they found in Epstein's house of Bill Clinton in a blue dress, in which Monica Lewinsky was in a blue dress just like this when she blew him? This is giving way to the biggest blackmail ring of all time, but let's keep going. Now, if we weren't completely off the rails, this is gonna take us there because there's an email stating that he was into bioengineering and genetics, specifically black people. And I quote, "You might be able to make blacks smarter by changing the time for the motor layer development and changing the time for other layers." Then he states their brains are slower at learning high-level concepts, in which he's giving way to slavery being that muscle twitch for slaves. We're faster, so we're stronger, jump higher than the white people were thinking all day, basically, and making them smarter under pressure over time. Now, not only he was into bioengineering and genetics, and he had his own office at Harvard called Jeffrey's office, but he had close ties to MIT, in which he had very close ties to this guy, Marvin Minsky, who is the co-founder of MIT's AI laboratories, and they call the father of AI. I mean, it really takes the guesswork out of why he was trafficking people besides blackmail. You wanted to experiment on people like a test lab rat. Now, this part totally makes sense, where the head morgue manager of Harvard pled guilty earlier this year for selling body parts online. Does anybody want to take a wild guess who he was working for? Epstein he was working for. Now, there's a whole lot more, so I'm gonna do a part 2. Make sure you guys get into my Telegram. We're just getting started.
Yo, I'm recording right now because hold on, let me compose right now. I know someone isn't about to come in, but I heard someone say ayuda. Hello? Yeah, no, what's crazy? I heard someone say ayuda. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, that's crazy. And it's sent it over here. Yo. Hello? 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 Y'all are gonna have my logo. What the fuck? Hello? 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 Yo, and someone is about to come in, like not to. Yo, this is the first. This is crazy. I heard someone say, "Ayuda." I heard it. I heard it first, like, you know, because there's music playing, obviously, right? And I heard it first, and it was just like a yell. But then I'm like, did I hear that right? So I started like just paying attention to the music, and it literally said "Ayuda." It literally said "Ayuda." Yo, God.
Yo, they got a church. It's a bar / club. I mean, the whole church thing. I don't know, man. This is kind of wild.
Some will say, finally a church worth going to.
Yo, open the door so the audience can see that there's nothing in there.
All right, ready? Yeah.
Run! Shut up, Malaysia.
What the f?
There's the trees on the top.
That wasn't.
There's someone out there.
Moved.
There's someone out there.
Moved. Who is that? Who is that?
That moved, dude. Wait,
no,
no, it's not back.
That's a person.
I'm out. Let's go.
What?
Joshua, is that you?
He saw the letter A.
What the hell? Can you show him another letter?
Oh, he's gonna have a seizure.
Letter N. A-N.
You asked for another letter.
Anna.
It's Anna, right?
Anna.
What was that?
Something touched him. Oh shit.
Rosicrucians claim they built actual temples that exist outside physical reality, and if you achieve the right consciousness state, you could walk into them and meet other initiates face to face. Now, this is the doctrine of the Astral Temple, and it's one of the most fascinating concepts in Western occultism because it was not treated as a metaphor. Mystery schools genuinely believe that these structures existed on another plane of reality and that accessing them was a core part of advanced spiritual practice. So, how does this supposedly work? Well, according to Rosicrucian and Hermetic teachings, physical matter is just the densest level of reality. Above it, or rather interpenetrating it, are subtler planes of existence. The astral plane is described as the realm of thought, emotion, and imagination made tangible. And just like you can build a temple out of stone in the physical world, adepts claim that you could build one out of consciousness in the astral. But here's the key. These weren't personal visualizations. The teaching states that multiple initiates, working together with focused will and sacred geometry, could construct a permanent astral structure that persists independent of any single person's mind. Now, once built, this temple becomes a meeting place. It's a lodge that exists outside of space and time. Now, the construction process was treated like actual architecture. First, the master builder, usually the highest ranking adept, would design the temple using specific geometric proportions. These were not arbitrary. They used sacred ratios like the golden mean, the Fibonacci sequence, and geometric shapes believed to resonate with cosmic law. The floor plan often mirrored Solomon's temple or Egyptian sacred structures. Then came the consecration. Multiple initiates would simultaneously enter deep meditative states and project their consciousness to the same astral coordinates. They would visualize the temple in exact detail. The same columns, the same altar, the same symbols on the walls, and the collective really focused their intention, and it would allegedly solidify the structure on the astral plane. Now, once established, the temple could be accessed by any initiate who knew the specific meditation technique and the astral address, which was usually encoded in a ritual phrase or visualized sigil. Now, here's where it gets wild. Rosicrucians claim that when you entered these temples in the astral state, you could encounter other members who were also projecting there at the same time. You could communicate, share knowledge, receive teachings from masters who had physically died but maintained their presence on the astral plane. It's crazy. Now, the Golden Dawn, which is one of the most influential Hermetic orders, I'm sure you've heard of it, they had explicit instructions for this. They called it rising on the planes. You would perform a specific ritual, achieve a trance state, visualize yourself ascending through layers of reality, and then enter the astral temple of your lodge. Now, inside, you'd see the same officers, the same setup as your physical lodge, but this was happening in pure consciousness. Some members reported encountering the secret chiefs. These were enlightened beings who guided the order from the astral plane. Some believed these were ascended masters, others thought they were angelic intelligences. Either way, the astral temple was supposedly where direct contact happened, but there were rules, strict ones. You couldn't just stumble into these temples. They were protected by what's called astral guards, thought forms created specifically to bar entry to the uninitiated. If you didn't know the passwords, the signs, and the proper...
Alright, so here's a video of the creepiest house I've ever flipped. I made this video for a friend of mine, so excuse the language. This is the scariest house I have ever been in my goddamn life. What the There's a fucking loft up there. I don't even know what's up there. There's a room down here I'm scared to go into. And the smell, like... Ugh. But I won't even go in there. Like I won't. Like I can't. I mean, look at that. What is that?
Do you know why in Chinese medicine we say you should never sleep with dolls or human figurines staring at you? In feng shui and in traditional Chinese medicine, there's a concept called 小人 energy, the energy of little people. Not actual little people, but negative influences, gossip, conflict, people who drain your qi. And here's the part most people overlook. Anything shaped like a human, dolls, figurines, statues, portraits, even labubus can attract that energy when they're facing you. Especially at night, because when you sleep, your body shifts from yang to yin. Your protective energy goes down and your qi becomes more open and sensitive. So if dolls or figurines are staring at you, and yes, even your labubu on the nightstand, TCM says it can disturb your qi, affect your dreams, and leave you feeling tired or uneasy. Feng Shui also warns that anything above your head, like dolls on a high shelf or artwork with human faces, symbolically has power over you, creating pressure on your body and spirit. That's why Chinese medicine recommends keeping human-faced objects out of your sleeping space. Turn them around or move them to another room. So if your labubu or any doll is watching you sleep, TCM says they need their own corner, not your bedside.
What if there's a fire? Then you French toast.
This book is so dangerous that just owning it might destroy your life. Wait till you see what's in its contents. The Shams al-Ma'arif was written in the 1200s by mystic Ahmad al-Buni, and it's often described as the most infamous occult book in the Islamic world. Central to the text is the Science of Letters, which proposes that Arabic letters possess intrinsic cosmic and metaphysical powers linked to the planets, stars, and the human soul. Through this correspondence, practitioners can perform spiritual invocations like enslaving a jinn to do your bidding, or craft talismans for power. And it also goes into very strange details. For example, one chapter even gives step-by-step instructions. The book also explains how to bend people's will. Inscribe a charm during the right lunar phase, and women will love you, and kings will grant your requests. And that's where I find it a bit iffy. Because the moment you mess with someone's will, there's gonna be penalties on your own soul, man. Either in this life or the afterlife. The book also mentions about magic squares, which are grids of numbers that always add up the same way. According to the book, if you construct them while aligning the moon with certain planets, you can channel the forces of Jupiter for wealth, or Saturn to destroy your enemies. No idea how one would do that, but that sounds pretty dangerous. But here's the darkest part. The author himself warns that the book should never be revealed to strangers, only to the spiritual elite. He wrote that exposing its secrets to the uninitiated could bring chaos, as you might accidentally call upon an evil jinn into your life. And that's why many believe that the Shams al-Ma'arif is cursed, that simply owning a copy invites chaos into your life. I've even seen a lot of people online just afraid of reading one page of this book. But some also argue that much of this book was rewritten over the centuries after al-Buni's death, meaning that the real Shams al-Ma'arif is very different from the current infamous version that we know today. But if even the current version is so full of wickedness, what exactly was in the original version? While reading up on this, I also chanced upon a whole ton of other grimoires and occult books. Let me know if you want me to talk about those, and if you are fascinated with the mysterious in our world, follow for more.
The Epstein files are not real. Any politician or celebrity that goes down thanks to the files does so only in a controlled demolition. Solve et coagula, or dissolve and coagulate, as it says on Baphomet's arms. The real conspiracy is not that Epstein was connected with Mossad and Israel in a blackmail operation. While that's true, that's only the facade. The real conspiracy is how they're using this facade or these masked players on this show in order to give you a controlled awakening. They want you to know about the satanic cabal because this is your initiation from darkness into light. They're slowly initiating humanity into the mystery religion. This way they can trick our consent into installing the Luciferian figures who will liberate us from this cabal. So the files are a leverage of control upon your mind. This is the bread and circus. They are creating tension and suspense in your mind and resolving it in a catharsis of a false victory in order to channel your energy to steer you into a specific direction they want you to go in. If the files steer the public into further hatred and condemnation of Israel, that's because the rulers intended it to be so. If the files lead to the dissolution of certain portions of the government, it's because it's by design. The rulers construct these individuals and scenarios in order to create a story around them for you to step into and wear it like a straitjacket, and they will yank you around by it. As long as you wear the narrative clothing that they give you, they're able to manipulate your movement according to the plot points that you've agreed to.
音が近づいてきた。今見えた。
That's a time travel machine, guys.
Today is the day that the Saudi royal family fully exposed themselves for being a part of the Dajjal system.
We're going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion.
You're saying to me now that the $600 billion will be $1 trillion.
Definitely, because what we are signing it will facilitate that, and we
I like that very much.
They just had a sit down with Trump and talked about investing in the United States. Initially, they talked about how they were going to give us $600 billion, and they increased it to $1 trillion right there in front of Trump. And then he goes on to talk about and explain what the investment's going to go towards. Big things he mentioned was magnets and artificial intelligence. And guys, let me tell you, whenever he says artificial intelligence, they're meaning Palantir. They're investing in the most demonic antichrist system that is in existence, that has ever existed. Now the cherry on top that just makes this oh so sweeter, so much worse. He was also asked how much money are they going to invest to help Palestine, and he had no answer. He didn't know. There was no number. They're just like, oh yeah, well, we're going to invest a bunch, sure. So you know the exact figure, the exact amount of money you're willing to give the United States for demonic crap, but you don't know how much money you're going to give innocent women and children who are affected by evil warmongers. These are supposed to be your Muslim brothers and sisters, by the way. And this is how they're being treated. They're getting put second, if not third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, like dead last in comparison to something that supports the Dajjal. Now, I expose a lot of crazy stuff on the internet, but this is probably the one that's going to get me put in my place and my head chopped off. Something you guys have to keep in mind and remember. Look at the police badges in Saudi Arabia. Look at what these look like. Whenever you see this police badge, do you think good? Do you think Muslim? Do you think anything positive whatsoever? Or do you see this and you think Dajjal, Antichrist, Illuminati? And I don't even need to explain to you guys why this is bad. Everybody knows. Just one look at this badge and you guys know what it's associated to. And I'm just going to put it all out on the table. I don't care anymore. These are the same people who are pushing people away from Islam. These are the exact same people who created the Wahhabi movement. The exact same people who have corrupted and distorted Hadith to push people away from Islam, to push people away from the word of God. They created the extremists. So everybody goes against Muslims. And the way they did this is these are the ones who funded most of the Islamic colleges. These are the exact same people that decide who is a scholar and who isn't. And if you guys understand the Islamic community in the slightest, you guys know people put a lot of faith in scholars. What happens if your scholar was taught wrong? What happens if the people who taught your scholars are devil worshippers? What happens then? Then you have a whole community of people who are trying to do the right thing, misguided and worshiping the devil, worshiping the Antichrist even.
Creepily enchanting. I don't trust it.
We want to know what you're reading now.
What I'm reading?
Yeah.
It's a book by a historian by the name of Barry Strauss. It's called The Jews Against Rome. Jews Against Rome.
What made you pick it up?
Well, we lost that one. I think we have to win the next one.
He just said it! There it is, right there!
Oh my God! Bro, what the? I'm not going in there.
Oh, hell no.
Bro, fuck up.
Alright, so I evicted my tenant about 15 days ago. I had to wait 10 days to let them get their shit out. I don't know what the fuck they did in there, but we about to find out.
Holy shit.
They got me.
How much longer does Israel let us stay alive, do you think? That's the big question.
Why are they...
What did you say? Is that AI?
What are you saying?
That's Sora?
What are you saying?
I didn't say anything.
What are you saying?
Huh? Talking about Israel Adesanya.
Oh, well, he loves you. Don't worry about it.
Good call.
What are you saying, son?
You wanted to test the waters? We got the answer we needed.
How insane is this? Minutes after the Epstein files finally get passed in the House and the Senate, a man in Washington all of a sudden is critically ill with an unknown, unpredictable virus that's never before been seen in humans.
A human has been diagnosed with a new strain of bird flu. Luke Andrews, senior health reporter, 60 seconds on the clock. Let us know what's going on. Ready, go.
This case in particular is important because it marks the first time an individual has been diagnosed with the H5N5 strain. We've had previous cases of bird flu before, but in those cases it has been the H5N1 strain. This patient is an older individual with underlying conditions, but they are described as being severely ill, having they've been hospitalised since early November. Symptoms we've been told are high fever, confusion and breathing difficulties.
Okay, and how rare is it for bird flu to be diagnosed in a human, and is it deadly?
So there have been about 71 cases in the US since this outbreak began in early 2022. And of those, only one has been fatal, and that was an individual in Louisiana who had underlying conditions.
All right, we are out of time, but thank you very much, Luke.
If you were scared of the Grinch, wait for the Krampus.
Elephants, the biggest Mandela effect of 2025. Let me know. When did elephants have these? Did we jump timelines? Did elephants jump timelines? When did this happen? Not out the Troublemaker Travels for saying this, because I had no idea. Am I in an alternate universe? When did elephants have breasts? I'd never seen this before. It never dawned to me that they would look like this. I mean, it's okay, but I've never seen this in no Discovery Channel, in no animal book, in no internet search. I have never, and I mean never, seen this before in my life. When did this happen? Why is it like this? Apparently, female elephants, this is how they feed their young, and this is what it looks like. Does that look weird to you? Did you know that? Have you ever seen this? Obviously, it's not weird for elephants. Is it weird for me? Is it weird for you? Is this strange? I don't know. Am I tripping right now? Because I have never seen these on an elephant. I mean, never. I've seen elephants all my life. I've looked up elephants. We learned about elephants. They are mystical creatures, but I did not know they had those. What are those? When did this happen? Am I the only one? Let me know on this one. I know it wasn't 5, but let me know on this one. It's a
blessing of Almighty God, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit come upon you and remain with you always. Amen. Witness with communion.
Jesus Christ. That's just a fucking dome truck.
Spidey is tooted up.
¿Quién más vio esto acabo de pasar aquí en California?
I'm sitting here watching this thing and I can see beings moving around on the ground. Multiple beings there. Like one of them looked like like an insect, something I would, maybe a mantis or something like that. That was my first encounter with Famous
Famous mantis beings.
Famous mantis beings. And there was a little greenish gray guy, and then there was a taller gray guy, about 5 feet tall, and they're all around.
You saw the whole team.
Saw the whole team, yeah. And I got this inclination like these were familiar beings. I felt some sort of connection to them because like this experience was for me, and they were, I still believe like they're, even in this video here, they're trying to show me something and show the world something now that I bring it out that we still need to get to the bottom of, because as crazy as that footage looks like that's what it looked like in real life. That's what it looked like. It looked ethereal.
But, you know, cameras make things seem further away than they actually are. I imagine in person it was a lot more dramatic for you. It's like right there.
Right, and it was lighting up the area around it. Like its source of light was coming from the center of the craft.
Was there an Oz effect going on? What I mean by that, was it dead quiet? Was there a weird atmosphere?
The only thing you could hear, like sometimes, like I have chickens surrounding my property, and like before these crafts will come in, like these chickens will go off almost like an early warning detection system.
Really?
But when it landed, things got quiet, like no bugs, no birds were going off. The only thing you could hear really is me walking around and like you could hear the leaves crunching, but the only thing I knew is I had to take my phone out and document this.
This is quite possibly the coolest thing I've ever seen. And that's a wrap for today, foo. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.